Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's. Welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap a seatbelt, go and sell our land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
No More Black Tears Radio. We back for another week, man. Mr. DJ Rose is here. You know what I'm saying? We got Juice Man in the building.
Hey, what it do? What it do?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. Yeah.
Verkeezy, man, how you doing? How was your week?
Shit, man, it's been pretty good, man. Just ready for this finals to start.
Caesar C's, man, how you doing?
What's good, people?
Yeah, so, man, how's everybody doing? We paying any bills today?
Ain't nothing worth mentioning.
All right, man. So, man, it all happened in the week.
Yeah, so this week in sports, this week Tom Tibado from the New York Knicks got fired. It was kind of abrupt. What's your thoughts on this, C's?
I mean, he has been there for 5 years. They started getting better progressively. And, I mean, they finally got somewhere, strongly got somewhere before they got blown apart at the end. It's one of those situations where it's kind of like you kind of get punished for winning. I mean, if they were going to get rid of him, it probably would have been better to do it in the offseason. Like, not as soon as the shit wraps up. But the offseason, kind of got to question what the upper management is doing. Historically, they've had some great coaches along the years. I mean, they haven't been back for another championship yet, but they were doing pretty good in my book. As far as coaches going, he was doing the things he needed to do, but it was abrupt. We'll see what they do to replace it. If they can keep that momentum going. I mean, they finally got the court together somewhat, but that back office, man, who knows what the hell was going on.
Yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of surprised only from the standpoint of I don't know what the fuck these teams be doing in the NBA, man. The last couple of years, all these coaches keep getting fired, man. After 1 or 2 seasons, then you got coaches who done won Coach of the Year getting fired maybe 2-3 years from winning that award. Like, if I was an NBA coach, I wouldn't even want to win Coach of the Year because it seems like in 2 seasons you're going to get fired. But most importantly, the thing that probably bothers me the most about this is he lost to probably, if not the best coach right now, because, Pop retired. We didn't really properly address him retiring. But he retired, so you can make the argument Rick Carlisle is probably the best coach right now. I know Ed Spoelstra's coaching and he does a good job, but I don't know, man, because these coaches, these teams find reasons to fire these coaches. Then we see some of these coaches go to other places and have success. Like I remember when the Mavs fired Rick Carlisle, and Rick Carlisle, he been in Indiana and he done had time to he's been in Indiana for so long now. I forgot that he was in Indiana until Rose brought it up recently, man. It takes time to build these rosters the way you want it to be built. It takes time to create a culture. It takes time to establish a system. I feel like Tom Tibado is always a great coach in terms of his team's going to play defense. They're going to play hard. Like they just really wasn't built to really beat the Pacers in this 7-game series. Like the Pacers, was just a better team, and Rick Carlisle outcoached Tom Tibado, man. But I think the most surprising thing besides that, before I give it to you, Rose, when you look at the landscape for next season in the East, the Celtics probably not going to be competing. There's a chance Giannis ain't going to be with the Bucks. Like the East really was going to be wide open for all those teams. Like even me as a Hawks fan, I'm feeling like if we can stay intact, we can make it to the finals because the East is probably going to be really, really fucked up next season. So why not just maintain him? Because who are you going to hire? Like to me, the only way this finally makes sense if you hire Mike Malone. And if you hire Mike Malone, then I understand it. But then that means Mike Malone, you can't get to the East Conference Finals. You got to get to the NBA Finals because Tom Tibado was just one game away from getting to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, he gonna have to win it again because he got fired after winning the chip,
Exactly.
and so he gonna have to win it. But the Knicks haven't been to the conference finals in 25 years, and then they get there and they fire their coach. You know what I'm saying? So that means their best player's daddy just lost his job. You know what I'm saying? Literally,
Yeah.
because his daddy was on Thibodeau's
Coaching staff.
staff. So it's like Cat, he got Thibodeau fired twice.
That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
Yeah, so it's like, and then just he's been there for 5 years. I think the longest tenured coach is Eric Spoelstra. He's been with the Heat for 17 years. And then the next one is the guy that coaches OKC. He's been there 5 years. Rick Carlisle's been with the Pacers 5 years. Thibodeau was with the Knicks for 5 years. And those are like, other than like Pop just retired, and Billy Donovan's been with the Bulls, I want to say 6 or 7 years.
And see, if you want to say someone should get fired, that nigga should get fired.
So
because they've been so horrible that whole time.
Yeah, so and that's the only those are the longest tenured coaches in the NBA now.
It's just sad, man. Like I said, you just these franchises don't want to create a system, man, and you know allow a team to grow together, man. Talking about growing together, man. We've been honored. If you love Inside the NBA with TNT, we've been honored to see Shaq, Chuck, Ernie, and Kenny Smith all grow together as an announced team, as a TV show. And it's been announced officially they're going to be moving to ESPN next season. They had their last broadcast, Game 6 of the East Conference Finals when the Knicks lost to the Pacers. What's your thoughts on the move, C's? Do you think this is a good move, bad move? And are you looking forward to Inside the NBA next season?
I think it's a good move just to keep the show going, like not just to get rid of Inside the NBA, just to keep it going. But Disney's had ESPN and Disney have had their hands in a lot of shit that they a lot of people don't like, that people don't care for. So if they can keep some of those same things that they're known for, and just like, you know, basically keep ESPN inside the NBA as it is, or what it's known for, without trying to make too many changes or do too much bullshit, I think it's a good move. But it's the end of an era, man. I think moving to another network, so there's only a handful of shows you can name and move to other networks and didn't change. You know, whether or not people decide to stay or not. And then there's always going to be the contract thing, how much money they get, and behind the scenes shit. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'm just not wanting Disney to really do too much bullshit with them. But it's the end of an era. I think streaming is just really, it just like different rights, channel rights and stuff really just changes how you watch the game and like where you get your commentary from. So I mean, it's sad to see it go, you know, in its current form. But let's hope they keep it the same way.
Yeah, it's definitely going to change because they're not just going to get rid of all their normal, like Stephen A., Mike Wilborn. They're not going to get rid of them because, you know what I'm saying, because they're good at their job too. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, so it's like, it's going to be different, but it's going to, I'm wondering how it's going to be, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be something like, you know how Eli and Peyton have their show on ESPN2 where they
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, it might be something. It's gonna have to be something like that, or they're gonna have to just bring or they won't have it before the show, or they'll have it after the game's over, and then they just have the show, 30-minute clip of the show. That would be nice too. Instead of going straight to SportsCenter, go to them, and then have SportsCenter on another channel or something like that. All right, because it's only going to be they probably only going to work maybe 2 days out of the week during the NBA season, maybe 3 days. Maybe it probably won't be 3 days because ESPN was it Wednesday and Friday, and sometimes Sunday on the ESPN because before it was. But now, are they going to get the TNT spot too, Tuesday and Thursday too?
Probably so, because I don't think TNT is going to have any more NBA games.
Okay.
I think that was the whole point of this transition was. The NBA sold the rights to all their
Strictly?
games, to ESPN.
So they'll have it so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So they'll probably give them the show maybe on 2 days out of the week, and then have the other guys do their thing, their normal thing, other 2 days. But we'll see what it is. But they're gonna have to have the whole show because ESPN has never had a post game show after the basketball games.
Yeah, that's what I heard, man. Like, and to me, that's what kind of makes the show what the show is, man. Because some of the funniest clips to me is like when the team gets blown out, and we've all seen a game on a Tuesday when it's just a blowout from start to finish. But at the post game, when they be doing the highlights, and they like, well, it's time to watch these highlights. When Ernie says it's time to watch the highlights, Chuck be like, do we have to? Like shit like that used to be hilarious to me, man. I mean, it's a staple to the NBA. If you love the NBA, like they've been around for a long time doing it. It'll be interesting to see if they change it, how they change it. Because like you said, Rose, you got people like Stephen A. who's good at his job, and other people who are involved with the NBA, like Kendrick Perkins, who work for ESPN. I'm also fascinated to see, like, are they going to technically be under contract with ESPN? And if so, ESPN has been known to try to get a money's worth out of people, they're on TV personalities. Is someone like Chuck, Kenny, and maybe Shaq going to be asked to be on First Take more often? Are they going to be asked to come on these different shows during the week? Hell, we just talked about Around the Horn, me and Rose. They still don't have a slot for that show. So are they going to try to get one of them to possibly fill that role? So it'll be interesting, man. Before we get to the NBA Finals, it's interesting that we have a player like Shea who's from Canada, who won the MVP and everything. Adam Silver was on TV recently saying that it's official. We're going to get the All-Star game next season. It's going to be the world versus the USA. I know we've had private conversations about how that will look. Based off of all the players in the league right now, what's your thoughts on a NBA All-Star game with the world versus the USA?
I would rather have the standard format where it's the All-Stars versus the All-Stars, the East and the West, but I mean, it's going to be competitive. At least we can say that. It should be entertaining.
I think it's going to still be All-Stars because most of the All-Stars are the world.
I mean, I'm saying like niggas in the NBA. I want to see the NBA versus the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be, isn't it?
The world is players like Vic, Jokic, Giannis, Shea. It's NBA players that was not from the USA.
Drafted from another country.
I know. Some of these players like Embiid played for Kansas. He's just from France, where Cambodia to be exact.
Yeah, so they're going to have a squad. They're going to all be All-Stars because most of the All-Stars are foreigners. So it's like
basically the state of the league.
It's like it's going to be like
overseas.
So it's going to be like can USA not get embarrassed because it is. I think that's going to make USA players play harder in the All-Star game.
They don't have to, man, because the best player is like when you get a lineup of Vic, Giannis, Jokic, Shea, and Luka. That's just the starting five now.
No, we missing somebody. Ain't we missing somebody from the Pacers?
Yeah, Halliburton. He's born in America.
No, not Halliburton. MVP.
No, that's Siakam.
Siakam?
Yeah. But he'll probably come off the bench. But that's my point. My point is those five guys I named, that's the starting lineup right there. So, yeah, the USA going to have to play hard if they want to beat them boys because that's just too much talent in that starting five. And
Jamal Murray will probably finally get an All-Star.
Yeah, he's probably going to make it. Mm-hmm. Andrew Wiggins might make it. Who knows? But then, a lot of our best players is Steph, KD, and LeBron. They old as hell, man.
Embiid.
Embiid will be for. Well, I don't know. I guess he can choose.
Well, he played for Team USA, so
that's what I'm saying. I guess he'll be playing for USA. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how they're gonna figure
Tatum,
it out.
But he hurt.
Yeah, he hurt.
Jaylen Brown,
Ant-Man.
We got Ja.
Maybe Trae Young finally make it.
Trae Young. We got.
He made it.
Jalen Brunson. Right? You know what I'm saying? We got Cat.
Halliburton.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, but they're going to have to play hard.
No, they definitely have to play hard, man, because when that front court of Jokic and Giannis, and you got that back court of
AD
Luka,
too.
Yeah, and Shea, they're going to give them some work, man. So, talking about the All-Star game, we got a couple players from the All-Star game playing the finals from Jalen Williams and Shea and Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people are saying this NBA Finals is going to be boring, man. Indiana versus OKC. but you get one of the best teams from top to bottom, the Pacers, against the team that's been the best from start of the season to now, the OKC Thunder, with the league MVP Shea. And it's it's probably the first time I want to say in the last couple of years in a while since we've had the league MVP actually in the finals. So that's refreshing to see because we're used to seeing the league MVP get knocked out before this point. Are you looking forward to this finals, and what's your thoughts on it? Who you think gonna win?
Everybody's saying it's gonna be a wash, man. It's not. It's not gonna be a wash. I do think it's gonna be somewhat competitive. It should be a good series. But this first game at home, man, I think OKC's got the advantage. I think it's gonna be entertaining. I don't think it's gonna be a straight sweep or nothing like that, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, to me, when I look at how both teams got here, OKC, they trounced on the Grizzlies. They went through the Nuggets, and then they took care of the T-Wolves easily. And I look at how the Pacers got here. You know, they beat up on an injured Bucks team. They beat up on an injured Cavs team. And they did face a competitive Knicks squad. I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, I think it's gonna be a wash, bro. I got OKC in 5, man. I don't care if it's a pacer, a dancer. Like it's over, dog, bro. It's gonna be in 5, bro. Because I don't think they have anybody that can guard Shea. I think them young boys in OKC can run. They're gonna run up and down that court, man. I don't know if Miles Turner is gonna want to is he gonna play big like he's supposed to? Siakam, yeah, he won the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, man. But yo, the Thunder, like, bro, I was telling Rose this. Watching the Thunder against like the Nuggets, the second half of that series and that T-Wolves series, the Thunder defense is so good. There were stretches where they couldn't score, and their defense was leading to buckets, man. Like they was trapping niggas in the half court, getting steals, getting blocks. Like I really don't know how the Pacers are gonna score consistently, man. And when you get someone like Tyrese Halliburton, like bro, he had a triple double where he had 30 points. Game 4, I think. Then game 5, he had like 5 points. Nah, he ain't gonna be able to do that shit. He gonna have to play at an elite level the whole series. And if you asking me who gonna play at an elite level more, Shea or Tyrese, I'm telling you right now, bro. Shea gonna get probably 30 every single game, and we're gonna see the Tyrese go up and down throughout the series. And the games he don't play well, I promise you, they will get blown out. Because like I told Rose privately, that whole Pacers Knicks series, neither team can play with a neat lead. And the Thunder, once they get on top of you, they like to embarrass niggas.
Yeah, so the only way the Pacers have a chance if Rick Carlisle just simply outcoaches the other guy. And he's going to outcoach him, and that's the only reason why it's going to be close. But they're not going to be able to. I don't think they have all the weapons to beat OKC. OKC, they're young, they're hungry, and I think this is just their time. Like Pacers, y'all just picked the wrong season. Y'all should have went against the Mavs last year.
Yep.
But y'all couldn't beat the Sixers. I mean the Sixers, but the Celtics. But OKC they're different. I think they have some players that can do a better job guarding Shea than Ant-Man and them boys did with some of their guards and their forwards, but I don't think it's going to be close either. The most I can see it going is 6 games, but I'm hoping it's going to be a quick series because I don't want it. It's going to be boring. You know what I'm saying? I think.
About the misery.
Yeah.
So let me ask a question, man. Real quick, y'all. One player from each team, besides the 2 star players, that has to play well in your opinion.
Williams. Williams for OKC and Siakam for Pacers, man.
Yeah, man. I'm going Turner for the Pacers because I feel like that's you cannot let Shea just get to the paint effortlessly this whole series. Turner, you're going to have to step up and play defense down low and be the big man needed. And check. You got to get on the glass, man, because you can't give the Pacers second chance opportunity. So to me, those would be the 2 players outside of the stars.
Yeah, I agree with that. Chet and Miles Turner. And it's going to be the defense from, what's that guy's name?
Lou Dort?
No, not Dorf from the
The
Pacers.
mailman. Oh, my bad. Neiman or Nixon?
Yeah, Neiman
Hard. Okay, yeah. His shooting too.
Yeah, because he's going to be guarding Shea probably a lot. So
yeah, he probably will because you don't want to tie out Tyrese. Tyrese not a good defender either.
Yeah, so it's going to be him and Neesmith. They're going to have to put a lot of defensive pressure on Shea. So those two, if I didn't pick Miles Turner, but it's going to be those two, Nembhard and Nemberg or whatever. The Neesmith and Nembhard, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And then I say Shea. I'm not Shea, but Chet, and also probably the Pizza Man.
Oh yeah, your boy Alex Caruso.
Yeah,
man. Hey, he definitely can have an impact, bro. He's one of the better players on that team. So moving on to TNT, y'all.
God Almighty.
So Trump was very busy this last week and a half. He had a couple parties he gave out. C's, what's your thoughts on that?
Man, anytime somebody gives pardons, it's usually a political move. NBA young boy Larry Hoover, he's still gonna be locked up in Illinois anyway. So I mean, it's simply I'm not gonna say it's nobody that matters, but somebody made a great point. They said you didn't see any of these Black Panthers get released that's been locked up for 40, 50 years. You're not seeing anybody that had a potential case to where they were potentially innocent, or there was a lot of people looking behind the scenes. There's probably people that made the list, but they're not publicizing it. And then I think one was Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, the police officer
got pardoned also. I mean, that says a lot too. It's purely a political move. This is basically the same old bullshit. So I'm not anybody, proud of it or whatever. It really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I didn't even know NBA YoungBoy was locked up or anything, man. Like, I really didn't know. When I saw that, I was like, oh damn, that's interesting, man. Well, maybe he can go on that tour for all them young niggas.
He's been on house arrest.
Oh, he been on house arrest? Well, good for him then, man. Now he can go do what the fuck he want to do then.
Yo, thought Kanye was crazy.
Yeah, now as far as Larry Hoover, I thought the president had the power to completely pardon you. Like, even if you had state charges, I thought he had the power to say, make that go away too. Like, nigga, don't pardon me just from these federal shit, nigga. Clear all my shit, nigga.
That's right.
It's a difference. I think if you do clemency, isn't that everything? And pardon is just.
I think it is, but I'm not that familiar with it. Do you know different C's? Now if he didn't have the power to take care of the state stuff, then cool, whatever. But if you had the power to take care of the state stuff, nigga, wipe all my shit away, nigga, so I can go home.
I think state charges is literally like.
I mean, I know the governor can take care of your state shit.
Yeah, it would literally have to be, hey, the governor of Illinois. He's probably like, I'm not doing that shit.
Nah, hell no, not if it's a Democratic governor. Now, if it would have been a Republican governor to stay on Trump's good side, he would have been like, hey, Daddy Trump, Daddy Elon,
you really think
you want me to take care of this nigga for you? I'm good.
You really think Trump's going to be like, hey, man, yeah, I done cleared the federal charges. Go ahead and clear the state charges. So have Larry Hoover so he can come to the White House and we can get this photo up.
You heard that nigga call Kemp talking about, hey, I need these votes now. Like, so Trump, if he wants something done, he gonna call these governors if he want it done now.
Yeah, Brian Kemp wants some other shit. Where my check at, homie?
Hey, man. Hey, talking about people like Larry Hoover, man. So recently, there was the biggest meth bust in CSRA history. Rose, you sent this to us. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I ain't got no tears for the person that got locked up, but I got tears of joy because it's going to be less meth heads walking around because that was a lot of meth. And 28 keys of meth. So I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? They're making that dirty money. Go get a job somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Lock all of them up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I ain't got no tears, man. I mean, get them niggas out the street, bro, man. Like, them motherfuckers is on some other shit. That meth is crazy or whatever. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even know we had that much meth in the city, man, let alone in one motherfucking house. Like, yo, bro. And I think someone said that they didn't even have that much cash compared to the amount of meth. So basically, I guess they didn't even really unload the product yet into the streets, man. So Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild, man. Where the other dope at, though? I know it's more than just meth. Where the rest of the dope at?
They had 28, almost 3,000 grams of fentanyl.
Yeah, where the coke at? Where the heroin at? Where the dope at?
And they moved on, man. They had that Fent and they had that meth, man. That Fent drop some bodies around the city real quick. I mean, it's good to see it get off the street. You know what I mean? So, I mean, nobody's gonna have tears for somebody selling that amount of shit. You know, it's crazy, but you know, they rated it. So, hey.
Yeah, I definitely have no tears for that. Like, get that shit off the streets. There's so many people that are really on that shit for real. So, yeah, that's a good thing. Like, yeah, get that shit out.
Yeah, man. So something that can get you fucked up too, man. Alcohol. So there was a teacher in San Antonio who was teaching special ed students. Now they say it was an accident, but she bought some Mountain Dew and she gave the Mountain Dew to the students. Now it was the hard Mountain Dew that has alcohol in it. And what happened to the teacher? Did she get fired?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got fired. Man, I don't know, man. I guess I ain't got no tears, but I can. If it was an honest mistake, I guess I can understand, man, because you know I had that happen in my household. People was drinking my little hard Mountain Dew, and they didn't know that it had alcohol in it. But you got to be careful when you bringing stuff to minors, especially students. Like if you bought it yourself, you should have read the case. Like I don't know how you made that mistake. So yeah, I ain't got no tears.
Yeah, I got tears because special ed teacher was special ed. But
Okay.
but the one good thing, she was trying to look out for the students though, because the hard Mountain Dew is sugar free. It's zero sugar. So she
Yeah, that's all she looked at with the sugar free.
She probably saw it was zero sugar, zero free.
That's
Sugar
what
free.
happened.
And she was like, "Oh, this is good. I can get this to the basement babies and they won't bounce all over the wall."
True.
So
when the niggas was slumping class, she was like, "What's going on?"
She probably did it on purpose, man. You know, she was like, I need something to calm down, you know, mellow them out a little bit. They wilding lately. I gotta give them something to, you know, calm them down, man.
Yeah, man. At least she had common decency, man, to try to look out for them because of the sugar-free stuff, man. So speaking of common decency, there was this white man who posted a clip online talking about how, hey, man, my neighbors are playing loud music at 11 o'clock at night. I asked them to stop, and I got to get up in the morning. C's, what you think about just people and their common decency for their neighbors now?
I mean, that's the thing, man, because it's like, okay, if they came up 6 o'clock in the morning banging every day, them same people that was up partying would have had issues with it, I guarantee you. Or they had like alarm or going off at 5 in the morning. You know, so if the tables were flipped, it's like, okay, 1 or 2 parties a month or, you know, every once in a while, but every freaking day or every weekend, man, it's like people don't give a fuck anymore. You know, it's just like, yo, I paid for this house. I live here. It's like, you know, you can't get mad when they call the cops on you. It's like, you know, you hear that shit like, hey, somebody complains, turn this shit down, man. You don't have some decency, just like if somebody they walk past your house every morning and they let their dog take a shit in the yard. You know, it's similar type of situation.
They gotta pick up that shit.
You know what I mean? Or like, hey, okay, let's say they do clean it up, but they use your garbage can with no bag, and they got to go pick it up. They just use your garbage can. They're like, I cleaned it up, you know. So I mean, you got to have consideration for people. You know, if you want to have big parties and no noise, no restrictions, not have cars, you know, move out somewhere where your neighbors live a little bit farther or something. You know? It's that type of thing. So I mean, we've gotten away from, you know, where people are having consideration for their neighbors. So I get it, man. I'd be pissed too, man.
I don't know, like a lot of that stuff is a lot of variables in that. Like, do they got an HOA? Like you know, or like it's not even HOA. They could have like a at my apartment complex, the rules. You know, you got rules of the lease. It's like we got a curfew, so no loud music after 11. That's simple. Nobody can be loud after 11. After 11, from 11 to 4, quiet. You know what I'm saying? Or you can report it and kicked out your. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about where you at. Cause so if they're like, you know what I'm saying, like you say in the country, you can't say nothing because we in the country. Or you might be in Grovetown in a certain area, but they don't have no rules. They don't have no jury. You know, they don't. I don't know. That's the wrong word, but they don't have any no laws or no rules, stipulations or anything in the community. They don't have an HOA, so you can do what the fuck you want to do when you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But consideration, yeah, we in the South, yeah, Southern hospitality, all that. But it's, you know, that's the reason why people pay money for certain things. Like people pay money. I don't want to hear this at certain times, and it's in the rules. So boom, then they have the sense to say something. But if you in an area and you an acre away from me and you mad because I'm playing loud music, bruh, I'm quite a bit. I'm like 10,000 feet away from you. I ain't trying to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a whole acre away from you. Like, bruh, you just mad because I didn't invite you to a party? Like, which one is it? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I understand consideration and sympathy and empathy and all that. But hey, like, what's the real? What's the real?
The problem is that white man wanted him to be a good neighbor like State Farm. But let's keep it real. Everybody ain't got State Farm. Some niggas got Progressive and Geico, bro. So fuck that good neighbor shit. Like, hey, you know, you should be a good neighbor, man, but some motherfuckers want to live their life how they want to live it. If they don't have no rules saying you can't play your music to this loud, and if the laws say it's not too loud, hey man, people gonna do what the fuck they want to do, man. You better get some earphones, better get some muffins on your heads or something, man, and just take your ass to sleep.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
No tears, by the way.
Yeah, I ain't got no tears either. Like, if you got a complaint, just make a complaint. Otherwise, shut up. Call the police. Do what you gotta do. People go do what they want to do anyway. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do in mine. So, who cares what you talking about?
Okay. Yeah, if I'm drinking that good liquor, I'm gonna play this music 2 in the morning, and I'm gonna be playing it all Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But this is what I'm saying. Was the dude black? Like, is it a racial thing?
Yeah, I don't know all that, man. But
so it's white on white.
I'm gonna tell you somebody who was black, man. A young brother by the name of Kameron Mason, who was murdered, you know, just a week ago. He was a property manager in the CSRA when some people, you know, came into one of his properties and was trying to be in the pool, and this wasn't the first time they had basically been fucking around with his area. You know, he fired off at them, which was his legal right. They fired back, and unfortunately, he, you know, was murdered. One of the people got caught and is locked up right now. Tyler Lamont Preston, man. Yeah, I got huge tears, man. This man was 28 years old. He's a young black man that was doing his thing, you know, had invested in some properties, was trying to be a landlord and do his, you know, thing in the city. Yeah, it's sad that, you know, you got motherfuckers that want to be destructive, and now you over here trying to basically say, yo, you causing a ruckus. I'd already talked to you a couple times. Now you trying to handle stuff. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, man, this is just a prime example of, that's why sometimes you probably shouldn't even do shit yourself. You probably should just call the authorities. And I know we as black people, we had this need to not want to call the cops, but this is why you got to call the cops, because you don't know what other people is packing and you don't know what they're willing to do.
Yeah, I got tears too, because all he was doing was trying to do his job, and then he got gunned down. He tried to take one on with him, but yeah, he was a low body shooter. So, but and then the thing is, like, all of them was young. They all was in their 20s, like 21, 28, and then the dudes were like all under 21, like 18, 19, 20. So it's like all of them just pretty much lost their lives, because I doubt they go get off on this. Like, one of them trying to claim self-defense, but we got only witnesses is the ones that were doing the crime. So it's like the other guy's dead. So if there's just some cameras showing that he shot first or whatnot at them, but I doubt that, because he's the property manager. He probably told them to get out, and they crashed out on him. So yeah, I got tears.
Yeah, I got tears, man. You know, somebody just trying to do their job or take care of their property. You know, unfortunately, shit happens. They shouldn't get off. Let's make sure that happens, that they don't get off. Man, it's just crazy. Like, niggas, like, you know you somewhere you're not supposed to be doing some shit you're not supposed to be doing. It's like, hey, you don't get the fuck on.
Okay.
No, I mean I definitely have tears for the situation because basically, like he said, this you're somewhere you're not supposed to be. You're trying to, basically get over and then take advantage of what they have going on, and unfortunately, dude lost his life doing what he had a legal right to do because he was trying to defend what was his and just do his job. So that's really crazy, for real, to be completely honest. Definitely have tears for that.
Hey, before we move on, Juice Man, your thoughts. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I could have swore we had a conversation in the past that you used to be a property manager. So, do you have any particular thoughts on this? If I'm wrong, you can correct me.
On this one, uh, I didn't even know he shot back. So he shot back, he hit somebody in the leg.
Yeah, but like, did you own property back in the day? Like, did you
I
used to
still
rent people?
do. I still do.
Like in your opinion, you own some properties and people trespassing on it, and you're doing whatever. Like, what's your thoughts?
I liked your first answer. I liked your first answer. Good. I don't really like us being African Americans. We really don't vibe with the police. Even if the police black, we still don't vibe because the first reason is we don't vibe is they
Like
always they
Chappelle said,
always
everyone's Clifford.
yeah they always going on the woman's side. So if you call the police and if a woman's involved, they gonna be on the woman's side off top. They don't give a damn about nothing. They on the woman's side. Dead wrong or right, they on the woman's side. Then two, uh, they gonna come at you like you're the threat, cause first of all, nigga, why you got this money? That's how they gonna come at you. First of all, nigga, why you got this money? Niggas don't supposed to have money. This ain't your house. This ain't your property. This ain't your land. Like you know what I'm saying? That's how they coming at you. So that's this situation. And I know, and it's fucked up because I know the YNs that did this dumbass shit. I don't know them like personally know them, but I know them through passing. I met them before once or twice. They came by, you know what I'm saying. So it's sad that this happened, and these YNs they don't like to listen. They want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and the world doesn't evolve around them like that. And it's sad because if you're gonna make a change for the good. Why bring destruction into the world? Like we don't need that. We need man. It's a messed up situation, and
Yeah,
with
man.
this, I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's wrong with these young niggas. I don't know what's wrong with these hoes.
What's wrong with him?
So there was, two situations that are kind of similar. A woman was mad. She went through her nigga phone and did not see no messages, nothing to basically corroborate that he was cheating. And she said, "Nigga, why you playing with me, nigga? I'm not stupid. Like, where the hoes at? Like, you ain't talking to hoes." And then there's another woman who basically, because she wanted a man who's in touch with her feelings, she's dating a feminine man. When I say feminine man, what I mean is a nigga that looks like a bitch. You would think that he's part of that community. He had his hair, I think, dyed a little bit. He was very clean. He kind of wear a lot of female type clothing. And she says that feminine men are more in touch with their feelings. Um, I know that Mel Gibson had a movie called this, and a lot of people thought it was a great movie. What do women fucking want, y'all? What's wrong with these hoes?
Everything they want everything.
They don't know what they want. They say they want one thing and they do another. Women can't figure women out, man. The first thing, when you go looking for shit, that's when you probably gonna find something. But this time she didn't find shit. So I mean, you're literally causing arguments or tripping, assuming shit.
She's insecure. That one's insecure.
Insecure. She probably the one, as they say.
She's fucking
probably,
around. She's
probably
around.
doing some shit. She just wanted the reason just to be able to throw some shit in his face and say, "Oh, you got all these bitches in your phone."
That's right. But she's really fucking around.
Yeah. So I mean, women just pretty much people looking for shit to trip about. It's honestly probably just her. Man.
She's trying to flip the script.
And then as far as like the whole feminine man shit, that's just her. That's just that bitch. That bitch is weird. That's just some weird shit that some people.
Nah, because a woman would like to have a gay male friend.
keyword, friend, not fucking or supposedly supposed to be.
He's not gay though.
He is gay.
A feminine dude.
That picture,
a feminine dude,
that
aka
picture,
metrosexual, is not a gay dude.
That picture, that was her friend. That was not her man. That was her friend. That was her gay best friend. That was.
It looked like the gay best friend, but he said that he's probably bi. He's probably bi.
Oh,
that's probably what it was.
And then for the
he's
females,
definitely bi. And
then the females into that shit. That's a whole nother cat. Like if you're into
that's it. I can't even say why in it. I can't even say why in shit. That's
new age.
New age.
It's like if you're into that, be like, hey, this is what I like. Don't try to apply that to everybody. Just like generalizations was like, oh, men need to be in touch with their feelings and need to understand. So just get with somebody that can fucking communicate. Like it's simply that. But if you just like that, that's your skill.
You know what? Dude. When I think about it, it's not about the communication. Sometimes I don't think it's about the communication because a manly man can communicate, but women don't like truth.
But on the other side of the internet, you got women talk about, oh man, now these men want to be women now. They don't want to do this and do that. They don't want to be masculine and all this other shit. And then you got this woman talking about
the women put them in that position,
feminine shit. So it's like, what the fuck do you want? Get that, what you want, and what works for you, but stop applying that shit and say, oh, men need to be more of this, and they need to be more of that. Like this whole, the whole shit, like, if that's what you like, bitch, that's what you like. Fuck it.
Prince said it best. A woman is never satisfied, bro. There's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do, she always gonna want more, bro. Simple as that.
Yeah, man. The first one was crazy because it's like, so you think your nigga cheated, you go through his phone, you don't find nothing, like she even said she went to the pictures and she even went to the deleted part of the recently, pictures and then see nothing, and you still not satisfied.
She's cheating.
You like, no nigga, I know you doing something. So that's like, this is why I just feel like, yo, y'all, we just shouldn't even go through our spouse's phone. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, it's because at the end of the day, either you're gonna find something to confirm your suspicions, or you're gonna feel like that they got rid of the evidence. But if you already feel like they're cheating, there's no point in even doing that shit. And secondly, the woman that wants to date a feminine man, man, I ain't gonna lie, sweetie, man, that nigga gay. Like, but if that makes you feel better, and it's crazy because I recently saw this white couple on TikTok that it's a white woman that's straight, and she says that her husband is gay, and he's gay, and they married. Like, if that's what y'all doing, just say that, man. But now I'm looking at that nigga gay, dog. I don't care what you say, man. The world's around you, nigga, you gay. Like, he gay, it's cool, ain't nothing wrong with that. That nigga might be a better bitch than you, to be honest. Like, I'm just saying, man. Like,
I didn't see the pictures, so I don't know.
Like, that nigga was clean, dog. He was clean. So, but hey, man, I don't really know what a lot of you hoes want because y'all say y'all want this, then y'all be going for niggas that do shit like this. Y'all say y'all want that. We got K back on the pod. She just said last week, you can be a good guy, but you can't be boring. So, what y'all want niggas that are bad? I don't know. It seems confusing to me, man.
I feel like people need to stand on business. If you have to go through all that and go through this nigga's phone and then you don't find anything and you still feel like, oh, it's something that, girl, if you don't want to be with that nigga, just don't be with that nigga. It's just like, what is the point? What are you trying to accomplish at that point? You feel some type of way, but you can't find evidence to back it up. Just don't be with that nigga. Just go, be with somebody else. As far as people want to be with feminine men, I mean, I guess it's 2025, get what you want or whatever. But don't feel bad if you find out that your feminine man is, dealing with other men. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
What Janet say, man? So how you marry a woman, but you let a man bend you over?
I was gonna say that.
Ain't nobody bending me over. So you doing the bending? What's your thoughts, Rose?
Yeah, man. So I don't know what's wrong with those souls, man. Like, when she went through the phone and didn't find none, she should have been happy. And she was like, okay, now that you don't have no reason to go through it again. So you should have been happy. Why are you mad? Like, she cheating. Yeah, he was playing in your face. He was just smart. You got to catch up. Yeah, don't be mustard.
You gotta be quicker than that.
You gotta be quicker than that. You call him on the right day. You know what I'm saying? He ain't get caught slipping. You can't get mad at him.
That's pimping.
Yeah, his pimping was right. So you can't get mad at him. So you just gotta do better and try again.
That's what Aaliyah said. Try again.
Try again. And as far as the bisexual, women dating the bisexual, there's no way that he was straight. He's definitely bisexual. Because he was definitely a bisexual. It's like it ain't no femme man. No, that's a bisexual man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Like,
AKA they call them the down low brothers. Gay.
Nah, he wasn't even down low.
Real word, that nigga gay.
Yeah.
Gay, straight up gay. Nigga, you gay.
Yeah, so yeah, he was definitely bisexual, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because he was actually 2 steps from being trans. If you ask me.
Yeah, he was close.
So she was almost dyking because probably in 2 years she gonna be like, oh, I want to be a woman now.
If you would have saw them walking in public from the back, you'd have been like, oh damn, there go 2 bad bitches. Like that's how feminine the nigga was.
I done experienced that shit, and that shit was wild. So what was it, Florida? Doing the prom. I seen a gentleman in the tail coat, like a dress, with the pants on. But when I mean his face was beat up and his hair was laid, and I'm like, that's your date? Like you say, they look like twins. The chick in the dress look like that's your twin. Like, yo, you for real? What's going on, shawty? Like, yeah, that's my date. But the fam mad. The fam like, nah, we ain't fucking with that nigga. But the chick is like, that's my date. And I'm like, okay. I don't discriminate. If you like you said earlier, if you gay, you gay, cool. I don't care if a person is gay. I don't care if a person is bi. Don't bring that shit to me. You see what I'm saying? I don't care. Like, if I see you in the street, hey, what's going on? I'm gonna love you like whatever, man. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You have a nice day. But am I going to be like, I want to get with that dude? No, I'm not, bruh. Come on, like this shit getting crazy. Like, and then some people like, oh, since he don't want to get with me, he don't fuck with me. Yeah, I don't fuck with you like that, bruh. But you cool. Like I don't. People being gay, that you know how it's been going on forever. I have gay family members. It's like I love them. It's like I don't discriminate, man. I don't. Nah,
So
man.
speaking of discriminating, before we move to the last topic, starting with C's and going around the table. Real quick, what do women want, dog?
They don't even know. So what the fuck am I going to answer that? How am I going to answer that? They don't even know.
What do women want? Every woman is different. You can't. It's just like, what do men want? But it's more complicated because of
way more complicated
because of like social media and whatever. A lot, especially we're just talking about black women in general. You can't even group everybody together. Black women can't even agree on the shit within themselves. So I mean, they're never. You can't even say like, oh, women want this and women want that because every woman is different. Every woman don't even live the same life experience or they're not even on the same shit. So you can't say what do women want as a whole. So I guess if you're really into somebody, you just got to figure out what does this specific woman want. But I don't really feel like there's any problem with that or whatever. I think if people would start paying more attention to individuality, we would be better as a society anyway because you can't group everybody together. So it's not really about what do women want. It's about what does the woman specifically that you're interested in want. You know, that just makes more sense to me, I guess.
Spoken like a real woman, man. Couldn't answer the question. Juice man.
Sure.
You know what I say about that? They want everything. They want the world. They want the moon. They want the stars. They want the ocean. They want everything.
What do women want? I think women want to be in charge. I think that's what they want.
They want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga.
Yeah, they want to be in charge.
I don't want this shit.
But,
I want to be a queen.
Yeah, but they just want to be in charge. I think that's what it is. Yeah. They want to be in charge without the responsibility.
AKA the accountability.
I remember Eddie Murphy said this, and I was a kid. I didn't understand this joke at the time. Now I'm an adult. He said you could fuck a woman with a diamond dick and make her come 100 times in one night, and she's still gonna be unsatisfied. They don't know what the fuck they want. On to the final topic. So luckily we was able to get Kay's side of the story, what women want, and our side of the story. A lot of times you don't get the both sides of a story. So Channing Crowder, played in NFL for a long time, most notably with the Dolphins. He's part of the Pivot podcast. And he was talking about how growing up, his mom fed him all this bad stuff about his dad. And he had resentment toward his dad. Till he got older, he got to talk to his dad, got to, have conversations with him and realize, my dad's not a bad guy. I never got his side of the story. And I've been seeing that on TikTok a lot lately, where men have been saying as they became adults, their moms haven't told them the truth. And they found out from their dad, yo, this is what's going on.
When they seen it growing up themselves, and they're like, yeah, you're right.
So, C's, how important is it to get both sides of the story from two people in general, but especially in situations where you're a child and this is your father and this is your mother?
I mean, especially in this situation, it's kind of like, as a child, you kind of got to see both sides, because you said it on both sides. You can't just put that on, oh, it's just moms doing this shit. It's a lot of men out there that say, oh, your mom's ain't shit, she did this. And you never really get it. Like, sometimes we don't know. It's like, oh, they were strung out on drugs, or, they were fucked up in the head or other shit. So, I mean, before you make your assessment and judgments, man, it's like, you got to at least hear it out first before you want to trip after that. That's your right, because you got the whole story. I mean, like, how they say it's his truth, her truth, or his truth. Side B, truth A, truth B, and there's the truth. So, I mean, it's good to get a whole spectrum of the picture. And, I mean, a lot of the times when you hear something from one person's perspective, they can kind of skew it towards the way they see it and, like, their opinion. You put your own personal opinions, and you might omit. I'm not saying everybody does it, but some people might omit or not say certain things.
Oh yeah, you might tell the story in a more favorable way,
and then you get this part without seeing the whole thing. So it's always good to get both sides of the story. I mean, that's a truth throughout, no matter just history, personal relationships, and other shit. So I mean, it's especially with the parent thing, y'all gotta stop that shit, because it's like, the whole like, oh, you ain't shit, you didn't want to do this. He's so like, well, the reason why, because your mom moved you out to Indiana, and we from California, so it's like, I told her, I was like, I can't afford, I got a good job here, I can come see them, this amount of time, and then it just got to a certain point where, she was like, you know what, if you don't want to do this, fuck you, don't even come around. So I mean, there's always that thing. She tells her perspective. The woman will tell her perspective. So I mean,
yeah, man. I know. I was fortunate growing up, man, because my mom, I grew up in a single parent household for the most part, and my mom really didn't say nothing negative about my dad. Like, to be honest,
that's rare, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I was very blessed for that. Like, and I didn't even appreciate it as a teenager and a kid. It wasn't until I became an adult, became a man, where I realized I was able to formulate my own thoughts on my father from myself. I didn't have someone else like feeding me negativity all the time. To be honest, if anything, my mom was actually like overly glowing about my father as I was growing up, like always telling me positive attributes of him and never saying negative stuff like he's not paying child support, he's not doing this, and all that different stuff. So like for this particular situation, I do know a lot of situations where men are getting bashed by their baby mamas, and it does paint them in a light. Now, I'm not saying that they're not on no fuck shit. What I'm saying is a lot of times we don't want to believe whatever parent is taking care of us, whether it's your father taking care of you, your mother taking care of you. You don't want to believe the negative stuff that they got going on. So the parent that's not there, you're more likely to paint them as the villain. And I remember I had a friend go through this, and I remember watching this movie, Loving Basketball as a child, where the main character, I think Omar Epps, basically found out his dad was cheating on his mom. He took it very personally. And, as an adult, as a kid, I understood. I was like, yeah, that's fucked up, man. You cheated on my mom. But as an adult, I'm like, nigga, your dad was in the NBA. You was in the NBA when you found this out. Like, your dad tried to explain to you how these hoes come on niggas. Like, you done fucked a lot of bitches. Like, Like it's a lot of stuff now at 33 years old. I look here and be like, I can understand why, like a grown man might feel like this and feel like that. Like when you have a situation where you be like, you know what, man, your dad like to cheat all the time. I kind of understand it. Like it's a lot of pussy out here, it's hoes out here and stuff like that. Like I'm a man out here, I'm doing my thing, and you might not know. Like your mom be on that bullshit. Like she comes home from work and forget that she got a whole husband and shit like that. Or where your dad used to hit on me, and I'm not condoning domestic violence. But if you've been in certain relationships, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's okay, y'all women, especially y'all black women, y'all be putting that pressure to niggas, man. Cause y'all would say stuff to niggas that y'all know y'all should not even say to y'all own mama, man. Like the stuff, like I done had a homeboy who mom was on crack, and the girlfriend said that's why your mom be sucking dick for crack. Like told the man that shit. And then was surprised when the nigga started dragging her ass. Like y'all would say, like niggas would tell you the most in-depth personal shit about their lives, and y'all would throw that shit in their face. I had another homeboy whose brother died when he was a teenager. And the wife said to him, that's why your brother burning in hell. Like y'all be saying shit that I'm not saying I condone it.
Nobody else
I'm not condoning it, but I understand it. I done seen niggas, wives, and girlfriends start beating on them at public events, and then be surprised when a nigga defend himself. Like, yo, bro. So being an adult now, yeah, man. Like, if my mom was to tell me my dad hit her, I ain't gonna lie. At 15, I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. As an adult, I'd be like, well, what did you do? What did you say? Like, don't say that the nigga just hit you. What happened to cause a nigga to hit you? Because like Rose said last week, if I tell you to stop talking and you keep talking,
would that be smart?
Would that be wise?
Okay, well, first of all, I don't really ever condone, domestic violence. The first thing I'm gonna say is that when it comes to downing anybody's, parent, I don't think that people realize this type of emotional impact it can have on a child, because it's a you and that person to make that child. So I think that a lot of people don't realize for you to be talking trash or, talking shit about the baby daddy, and that's a part of them, whether he's around or not, you're not doing anything but possibly, contributing to some type of negative mental whatever for that child. So that's not beneficial. I come from a divorced family. My mom really didn't have to say too much about my dad anyway, because we were there. But one thing that she never did, she never tried to talk down on my father or say anything, and she also didn't keep us away from him. But like I said, she didn't have to say anything because we were there. So certain things that we would have observed or judged him for, I guess we were there to observe. So I don't really feel like once the kids get to a certain point, if they're a certain level of intelligence, they're gonna be able to realize certain things anyway. So you really don't have to do all that. As far as putting hands on people, I mean, it was at the point where you really have to put hands on people, whether it's, the man putting his hands on the girl or vice versa. I mean, y'all just don't need to be around each other. That shit is unnecessary. I feel like for grown ass people to be in a relationship or whatever and y'all beating on each other, I really don't quite understand the purpose of that. Why would you even put yourself in a situation where somebody could potentially send you to jail or prison over something like that? That's crazy to me anyway.
Well, I like what you were saying. I gotta go with men. We gotta start being more. What's it called? Not emotionally sound, but we women. They think with both sides of their brain. So when they talking to you, can't words are words. Words are words. And she's saying stuff to you to make you mad, pushing your buttons. You should not put your hands on a woman, because those are just words. She's just saying shit to get you riled up, and that. But it's when the actions takes place, and then the words might be like, "That's why I did such and such and such and such." That when it's like, that was an action. You did something. You see what I'm saying? And then a lot of women, they try to put themselves in man's positions when they shouldn't. Like when they start talking and act like a man, you're no longer a woman. You know what I'm saying? Don't stay in that lane as a woman. Be ladylike, because once you cross over to being a man is not going to say half the shit a woman would say to another man, because they know when they say that, it's go time. It's life or death. You know. So it's just got to stay in prayer. And man,
Rose?
Yeah, so you go get most of the time, I guess 60, 70% of the time, the kids gonna be living with the mom. 40% of the time, you be living with the dad. And if that person is saying bad things about that person, as a kid, you don't know any better. But that's why it's always good to get both sides of the story. And once you get both sides of the story, even with from Buddy from the Pivot, he got collateral contacts too. So when he was growing up, or even I guess after he was grown, his dad's teammates was like, "Oh yeah, your dad was such." He heard good things about his dad from other parties. That's when I say collateral contacts, like people that aren't necessarily in the situation, but were around. You know what I'm saying? So
That's important.
So it's good to get this side, but if you have people that were around, those are the people that you need to be talking to. You know what I'm saying? And just some people that just were around, so you can get the really the inside, because they're going to tell you the truth 75% of the time. So it's really good to do that kind of if you really want to know. But you shouldn't judge your parent unless you've seen with your own eyes what they were like or that sort of thing. Because as a kid, you see them, even if you see them every day, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You just know what they show you or what they allow you to see. So you're gonna have to, when you do become an adult, you're gonna have to put your feelings aside and figure out like what's real and what's not real. So that's how I feel about it. Like, and it's a good thing to do that, because people lie all the time. You know what I'm saying? And both of the parents might lie, but like you said, if you get some collateral contact, then you're better to weed out what's really going on, and you can make your own decision on how you want to be and how you want to feel about either party. So that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? It's good. We just you gotta do the work. It ain't gonna come easy. You gotta do the work.
Yeah, man. I heard this phrase like a year ago, and like when I heard it, I was like, "Yo, man." For most people, that probably is true. It was when you're really young, you idolize your parents, and when you get to a certain age, like normally your teenage years, early 20s, you demonize them, and then eventually, probably when you get to your 30s and 40s, when you finally mature, you humanize them. And like, I just took that as like, you 5, 6 years old, you think your mom and dad is Superman, Superwoman, or whatever. You think they can't do no wrong. Like my mom used to tell me whenever her birthday would come, and we was real little, like real little, we would say, "How old are you?" She'd be like 8 years old. She didn't know no better. Like we thought she was really 8 years old. Like we was 5 ourselves or whatever, you know. And then like you get to your teenage years, and it's like they always going against you or whatever. They're not letting you do what you want to do. So then you like, man, fuck them, man, fuck them. Like, of course, you're not saying that to their face. You saying that in your room underneath your breath. But then you get to a point where you're 33 or you're 42, and then you look back at your dad, you look back at your mom, and be like, you know what? Now that I'm paying bills, now that I'm dealing with women, now that I'm dealing with niggas, now that I'm in these situations, hey man, my parents was going through it, man. They just a human being trying to figure out how to go through this thing called life. Like this going through this thing called life is not easy. Like you have a lot of responsibilities, you have a lot of things that go on, and then when you add in the fact of taking care of another kid, which that is a choice you make, but when you add to taking care of another human being, like this thing called life is not easy when you don't have kids. Throwing kids and trying to maintain a relationship with those kids' spouses can be really, really hard, man. So before we wrap it up, you said something about his truth, her truth, and I'm very big on there is no his truth, her truth. There's only their truth. People have perspectives, but there's only one truth that really matters. When we're having conversations with people, I know we kind of start off just talking about your parents, C's and Rose. How important it is just in general when someone tells you something and K tells you sees, yo man, Bertizzi's on some fuck shit. How important is it to not run with that and make sure you contact me and get my side of the story?
Proximity is going to matter because it's like, all right, if you're not cool with a person or you just like kind of basically an associate, it's like friend, associate. Your friend tells you something about an associate, you're not going to go back and be like, hey, I heard you and John, B. John and Kurt got ish static. Kurt's my boy. B. John was the one telling me about John, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to necessarily run back
blow the spot up
to an associate and be like, oh, I heard this and this and this. It's like, nah, I ain't really in my place, and I don't feel like it's my thing to do. But if it was like a friend, it's like, yeah, you kind of got to see what's up before you're like, and then a lot of people want validation. They just want to be like, am I, I'm right. What happened, let's just say it's a disagreement. Oh, I'm right because, this, and this. So, I mean, it's kind of like the proximity matters. But it's important to get both sides of the story because, I mean, it's like, hey, most people are naturally going to go to making themselves seem in the right or, a favorable story. Their favorable story. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, what the fuck really happened? What's the issue? That's kind of like, stop putting people in positions where it's like, yo, validate what I'm saying. It's like, nah, like check it, get the big picture and shit, and then, kind of go from there. So, I mean,
I think it's more like, so tell me that question again.
So basically, if it's a situation where K comes to you and says, Bertizzi on that fuck shit, how important is it to
it's very important because that's what I was thinking too. So it's like somebody can tell you something about another person, but who, other than people that live on the edge of keeping it real, is going to tell you that they're false. Nobody wants to tell you their fault, but some people do. But then lots of people don't. So you know what I'm saying. So you got to know, like, people ain't gonna tell you like what they did wrong. Most people ain't.
Facts.
Like, if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you what I did wrong.
I was just about to say that. I was like, you someone that you'll tell me a situation, and you might say, yeah, I smacked her, but let me tell you what she did though.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was wrong for doing this, but yeah, I did it, and
I stand on it.
Yeah, I just don't care. I did it. Yeah, but
I was drunk, but I did it anyway.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like so people ain't gonna do that. They gonna be like, because people be like, oh, you go shame me, so and then you go take this person. Like, I don't care whose side you take, or what was going on, or who was wrong and who was right, but like, people ain't gonna always put themselves out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for you to just take it and run with it, and then not say anything else to the other person, like, and then find out like, oh, I didn't even know nothing that happened. That this person talked to you about that. Like, no, you ain't finding it in yourself to come ask me about it. Like, what really happened? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying?
I've definitely seen situations like that where I've had friends who heard a story from one side, talked to me, and I was like, well, did you talk to this person? They're like, nah. If they want to reach out, they'll hit me up or whatever. Like, I do feel like you can't properly judge a situation until you hear both sides. Like, we've all had jobs where you at the job and a coworker might start talking shit about another coworker that you might not even talk to like that, or you haven't even met yet. Oh, hey, John in the corner. Yeah, don't fool with John, man. He be on that bullshit. So now, like, you got some people, they start formulating these, like, thoughts about John, like he's some super villain and fucked up individual, where John is really a cool person. John really just don't like working with people who don't want to do their fucking job. Like, I remember being in high school, and there was a lit teacher named Cannoneer. Everybody said she was mean as hell. Then I took her class, and she was like, nah, if you just go to work and not play, go to class and not play, she a cool-ass teacher. Like, so sometimes I do feel like it is important to get both sides of the story and to actually talk to people yourselves and experience. More important, not just talk to people, but experience people yourself. Because anybody can tell you this person's like this person's like that. But then you can hang with them and never have an issue with them. And maybe it's not the fact that that person's fucked up. Maybe the person that was telling you the shit didn't know boundaries or didn't want to be respectful or didn't want to do what they were supposed to do. Like, because you have a lot of women who would say, yo, Juice Man is fucked up. And then you have some women that be like, hey, no, Juice Man's not fucked up or whatever. But Juice Man just might have certain boundaries where it's like, I pay for everything, so I expect you to conduct yourself a certain way. And if you don't conduct yourself a certain way, hey, I might go upside your head.
I don't know about going upside your head, but it's a problem. It's a problem.
What's your thoughts on that, Kay?
I guess I just feel like, how serious is the situation for you to even be involved? I'm not big on drama. So if somebody is saying something about someone else and it really doesn't affect me, you know, sometimes people just want to be heard. I feel like you can listen to them and be like, oh, okay, you know, I hear you or whatever. And then you can keep it moving because sometimes people, you know, they're not coming from an honest place. So if they say something about somebody else, why would you take that to them? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's just creating drama. But if it's something that you feel like, you know, it's two people that you know, care about and they're saying something that's serious enough, I guess you could go do the research if you want to. But I'm pretty big on, you know, if it really doesn't affect me, y'all could go ahead and work this out. I'm not going to allow it to affect necessarily my view of somebody that I care about, because if what they're saying doesn't back up what my experience is with that person, I mean, why would I even really entertain that? So that's kind of how I feel about it, I guess.
Juice Man, your final thoughts on it?
Final thoughts on
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think Rose had a good point. It's all about the person you're staying with the child. When you rearing the child to your likings. So if the child's with the father, and if the father is being proper in the situation, he's not going to say anything negative about the mother around the child. Vice versa, if the mother is doing the proper thing, she's not going to say anything negative about the father to the child. You know, you don't supposed to do that because, like you say, you need them to grow up being non-biased to the world. Because you don't want, oh, I hate all men. Because you know that what comes to it. Oh, I hate all men because the way my daddy did my mama. Or I hate all women because the way my mama did my daddy. Nah, they gotta have a clear way of thought, and that's when we get the issues and the problems when the children are on one side and only thinking one-sided. They haven't seen or been exposed to culture, so they don't know any better. So, for instance, I can't get mad at a man that's dating my daughter that's been raised by his moms and he doesn't do anything that I would consider a man to do. I can't get mad at that. Like, he doesn't know how to change a tire. He doesn't know how to work on a car. He doesn't know how to do yard work. He doesn't know how to do anything with his hands. I can't get mad at that because simple fact is like, boom, he was raised by a woman and the woman just, I pay somebody to do that. So all he knows is to pay somebody to do that. He doesn't know that he could go out there and do it himself. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what we come into. That's like a lot of the YNs, they was raised by their moms. They don't know any better.
Final thoughts, C's.
Said all I need to say, man.
Final thoughts, Kay?
I pretty much feel the same way. I know I've said this multiple times when we do the pod. If people really would just authentically be themselves and be more so worried about what they have going on, you know, the world would be a better place. So, I mean, you don't have to put other perspectives on other people because the truth is going to come to light eventually. I feel like you should just try to be the best person that you can be individually, and, you know, everything else will just kind of fall in place.
Yeah, man. I said the same. I said it last week. Everybody know I'm a wrestling fan. For those who've been watching, you know, WWE for the last 25 years, you know, R-Truth has been a staple in WWE. I remember when he was, you know, K-Quick. I remember when he went to TNA as Ron Killings. When you watch WWE, R-Truth, you know, black wrestler, by the way, brings a lot of comedic purposes and stuff and gets a lot of the other wrestlers to break character. it was announced the last few days that his contract would not be renewed and he won't be returned to WWE. It's just sad, man. You know, this is someone that I remember being WWE since I was a child, and someone that I feel like is a staple of the company, and someone that a lot of other wrestlers on Twitter was pouring out and saying that they're going to miss him because he's one of the better people in the locker room. I said something last week about TKO. They're doing a lot of things to the WWE product, and I don't feel like they fully understand how much WWE is not just a commodity like some of these other sports entertainment industries. The fans are really connected to a lot of these characters that are in these different stories on a personal level. So, yeah, I'm very sad to see that, but I hope another wrestling company like AEW, TNA, or New Japan Wrestling picks him up because I enjoy watching him be comedic on a wrestling screen.
Yeah, my final thoughts is I'm going back to the NBA Finals. It's like I forgot to tell everyone or remind everyone that I did have the Pacers as my dark horse from first round. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to remind everybody about that. And I also...
They picked him in.
But he had 3 or 4 other teams before that. That's a dark horse. That's like, okay, the Bears.
No,
the Bears.
But when you say it's, hey, watch out for this team, it's my dark horse. Hey,
the Bears.
It doesn't like nobody else. What was your dark horse? Did they make it to the finals?
I didn't have a dark horse.
Atlanta?
It might have been the Hawks, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, yours was the Knicks.
Oh, it was the Knicks?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it's like if you don't have a dark horse, it's like okay, you don't know nothing about the dark horse, but you just gotta sometimes you just gotta like because you have teams you want to win, and you have teams like man, it's not gonna happen. But I just want to give a shout out to the Pacers, man. I'm looking at the game right now. It's almost to halftime, and just it's like it's only one thing that really separating them because it looks like both of these teams looking at their teams and their makeup. I never seen them play each other, but they pretty much had the same team. They're both deep. They're both young.
Yeah.
It's just that one team has the MVP who is a lot better than the other team's best player. You know what I'm saying? So and that's giving them and also they both have because OKC has veterans on their team, but they're still young. And the veterans on the Pacers are a little bit older, but they both have championship pedigrees on both sides. It's like Pacers are losing by 10 right now, but the game is really good. So I just want to give a shout out to them because they are making it interesting, even though they're losing, but they are making it interesting.
And it was the Airbnb Rakim. Peace.
Yeah, man. Y'all catch up the next light, man. Man, we in traffic, and I'm back quiet. Mr. DJ Rose, Vert Cheesy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. I'm sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and settle land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.